Well, good morning and happy Monday. Lester here. Folks, before we get started, I want to just remind you of a couple of things. Longhorn Lester's LLC, the business, is not to be confused with I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, INC, the rescue operation. Those are two very separate entities, separate rules, if you will, and same guy, same owner, but we run those two things very differently. In saying so, this week we're going to have some changes coming to our bullpen, and I'm going to introduce you to a new character who I'm excited for you all to meet. At the same time, we will be saying goodbye to a few of our beloved bulls, and I know you're going to feel that loss and that hurt and that void, but that is part of this industry, I'm sorry to say. The good news is, if you can rest assured, they're going to great homes, and I can promise you that. In this video, we're going to talk about what's going to happen and how I'm going to do it. You will not meet the new fella today, though, but we are having to go through some certain steps to set everything up so the transaction goes smoothly on the day that we do it, okay? You guys join me. So first and foremost, I had to move the feed buggy out of the bullpen pasture. What we want to have happen is on the day that we're ready to move cows, or in this case, move bulls, we want our bulls to be hungry. I'm sorry, I know it hurts to hear that, but they still have grass to graze on. We also planted ryegrass. That's why the pasture's still green. There's ryegrass up and about, so they're not going to starve. We have a roll of hay underneath the ballroom, and we also keep out fresh water. So not to worry, our bulls are not going to starve over the next couple of days. They're going to miss the easy access to the grain, that's for sure. But on the day that we're ready to move them, I'm going to use that to my advantage. Now, I've also taken the feed buggies off the back pasture with our cows, because when all of the shifting and all the stuff starts taking place, I'm going to also use that feed source to help move my cows along into other pastures. I'll explain all of that in the video, but just know that the first step in planning and preparing to make some pasture changes and whatnot is to, well, you have to work up an appetite. And you all know how we are. We get hungry, we get a little cranky, and we'll do anything for that next meal. And so I'm gonna keep the dry hay out. The cows still have pasture and fresh water. They're not going to starve, but I do want them to crave these feed buggies, and I will use these to help move the cows when the time comes. We're going to be bringing in a new bull. I have a trade deal worked out. We'll talk more about that in the future after the deal is done. I would be a fool to show my cards this early. We found out the hard way that when you show your cards too early, there are some people who want nothing more than to mess up a good thing. And unfortunately, we've had, I'm sure, sweet ladies ruin a lot of great deals. But we got this one over here worked out. Let me show you how it's going to happen. The day that we're going to welcome the new bull, that morning I'm going to bring my bulls, who are going to be a part of the deal, into this pasture over here. I will take the horses and push them off, close them out, and I will bring the bulls, who are a part of the deal, into this pasture. This is the 1 acre pasture. I'll park me a feed buggy over here, open that gate, allow them to come out, and they will come into this pasture, and they will come inside of here for the feed buggy access. Once they're inside, I will close this big bull-proof gate, and those bulls will be inside this loading chute. All right. The cows that Tex cannot breed. The cows that Tex cannot breed. I will call them out of this pasture. I will bring them into the 1 acre pasture. Now remember, they're still going to be separated. We will have some bulls over here inside this lot, which is what we call our Coliseum. They will not have access to the cows that are walking along in this 1 acre pasture. This is a very short and temporary move. I'll explain why. I think that you guys already know those cows, but only the cows that Tex cannot breed because of bloodline issues. Those cows and their calves, if they have any, will be brought out of this pasture into the 1 acre pasture. All right, once we have the bulls who are a part of the transaction inside the Coliseum and enclosed in here, and we have the cows that Tex cannot breed over in this pasture here, at that point I will take Tex from the front pasture and I'll lead him over into the back pasture. Once inside this back pasture, Tex will have free access to all of the beautiful ladies that he does have access to, if you know what I mean. So there'll be no cows out back that Tex is not allowed to have access to. And so Tex will spend the next month or so in the big pasture along with all of the wonderful ladies that he is allowed to access. Once Tex has been removed from that front bullpen pasture, I'll take the ladies who are in here. Remember, these are the ladies who Tex cannot have access to. I will take the ladies in here and I'll lead them through this gate and I'll take them over to the front bullpen. When the new arrival gets here, I will drop him off into the front bullpen as well. And so now the new arrival, his name is Jolly, along with the ladies who Tex cannot have access to, they will all be up in the front bullpen together. The front bullpen is 10 acres. The new arrival, along with a select group of ladies, will be in that 10-acre pasture. I will return the feed buggy. I'll also keep out the dry hay. They have plenty of fresh water. And the new arrival will, in fact, learn and be able to swoon these ladies. And I think that once you see him, you will absolutely know that he's going to be a wonderful addition to the JL Ranch and a part of the Longhorn Lester herd. At that point, the fella will back his trailer up and we will load the bulls that are being a part of the transaction, and we will kiss them goodbye and wish them the best of luck, and they will make their way to their new forever home. At that point, the 1-acre pasture will be empty again. I'll open the gate back up, and the horses will once again have access to not only their 14 acres, but also the additional acre here, which gives them a total of 15 acres. They'll have their stables, and of course they'll also have this summer barn that they love hanging out in. Alrighty, and that is the process. That's going to happen this week. In recap, what I've done so far is begun that process by pulling out the feed buggies. That is the first step in the process. Pull out those feed buggies. When those cows come up to eat today, they're going to say, wait a minute, there's no grain here. And they're going to resort to having to eat the dry hay and grass like most cows do. And then they'll go ahead and come back again a few hours later, and there's still no feed buggies. And they're going to get a little bit agitated with me. They're going to give me the evil eye, guys. I'm going to get a lot of evil eyes today. But in a day or two, When all of this goes down, that's when you'll understand, you'll be able to see in video form exactly why I did what I did. It's just a part of farm and ranch management, okay? I'm excited about this. I'm also sad, but we all knew this day was going to come. Chucky Poo can be in either pasture. It won't matter. He's a steer, which means he's no longer intact. And so we'll just let Chucky Poo go into whichever pasture he chooses. The one pasture he cannot be in is with the horses. Duh. The big birds will stay up front. They don't go into the shelter. They don't need the shelter. And I will also say that Tex, this year, this breeding season, will have a whole lot more ladies than what he did in years past. He's gonna get the bulk of them. And then our new arrival, we're gonna kind of ease him into things, because you all know that my girls here, whew, they're a wild group. We don't want to give the old man a heart attack. I'll add that he is a proven bull. He is about the same age as Tex. He has several good years in him, but last thing, and I promise I'll let you go, he will not be here forever. I hope that you love him, and I hope that he gives us some really beautiful babies. But in a few years, which is normal, we will also begin to look to move him. And we'll repeat this process again as long as we decide to keep having babies here. Alrighty? I'm excited. Thank y'all for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll try to go by and answer them the best that I can. And, well, keep your fingers crossed. A lot of big things happening at the JL Ranch this week, okay? All right.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.